From our studio here at Zarin TV to your screen, hello and welcome. Amid reports of growing disagreements among Taliban leaders, Hibatullah Akhundzada met with Mirullah Hamad, the governor of Paktia province, demanding obedience to officials' orders. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid announced that the meeting was attended by the head of the Ulama Council, security commander, intelligence chief, and all Taliban officials in Paktia province. Internal Taliban sources told Amo Media that Sirajuddin Haqqani criticized restrictions on his authority in the Interior Ministry during a recent meeting with the Taliban leader in Kandahar. Haqqani reportedly warned Akhundzada that if radical policies continue, many Taliban leaders would separate ways from the group. These sources added that Haqqani traveled to Kandahar last month through mediation by Yaqub Mujahid, defense minister, and Abdul Haq Wasiq, intelligence chief, where he frankly presented his positions. Paktia, Haqqani's birthplace, remains one of the provinces where the Haqqani network maintains significant influence. The United Nations has reported that the Taliban group's Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice law has further limited women's access to healthcare services. According to a UNAMA report published on Thursday, April 10, 2025, drivers are refusing to transport women without male guardians to hospitals and clinics. UNAMA has documented numerous cases where women have been denied essential healthcare services due to not having a male guardian.
زنای افغانستان، دخترای افغانستان دیگه چی میشن؟ جزی که دخترای جوان به مدارس فرستاده میشن، دیگه کدام نوع حقوق انسانی را دارن؟ بالای طالب کدام فشار وارد شده که طالب حداقل یک عقب نشینی کرده باشه؟
The daughter of Peter and Barbie Reynolds says her parents have been interrogated 29 times in Taliban custody. Susie Romer told British Channel 5 that her 79-year-old father and 75-year-old mother have been detained in Bamyan province since January 2025, but still don't know why they were imprisoned, with the Taliban stating no charges have been filed against them. Romer described her parents' detention conditions as absolutely horrific, saying they are kept in cells infested with mice and cockroaches and receive only one meal per day. She has urged the British government to take stronger action to secure her parents' release and explicitly tell the Taliban that the couple must be released immediately. The Taliban's Department for Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice has banned media outlets in Jauzian, Zabul, and Parwan provinces from publishing images of living beings and filming gatherings. These restrictions bring the total number of provinces implementing such orders to 13, raising serious concerns among journalists and media organizations. In Jauzian, the directive was formally communicated through an official letter to the governor's office, labeling noncompliance as a major sin. In Zabul, the verbal order has halted national TV broadcasts, effectively turning television into radio. In Parwan, local journalists were summoned by the Information and Culture Department on Thursday, April 11, 2025, and instructed to stop publishing images. The Afghanistan Journalists Center has expressed grave concerns about these restrictions, warning they contradict press freedom principles and could lead to increased censorship and reduced access to information. Sources report that Mullah Hibatullah, the Taliban leader based in Kandahar, is pushing for strict implementation of this order across all Afghan provinces.
بله اول خب من ایران نمیپذیرم که آزادی بیان وجود نداشته باشه. اگر شما تلویزیون‌ها و رسانه‌های افغانستان رو تعقیب بکنین، تمام رسانه‌ها نشرات آزادی خود دارن. قسمی که سابق نشرات داشتن حالی هم همون نشرات خود دارن. بالای حکومت انتقاد وجود داره، بالای کارکردهای مختلف از حکومتداران انتقاد وجود داره. آزادی بیان یک اصل است در جامعه. به نظر ما آزادی بیان وسیله است که بین مردم و بین حکومت یک هماهنگی را به میان آورده میتونه.
Local sources in Kandahar province report that Thursday's explosion was actually an airstrike targeting members of Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, TTP, and the Balak movement. According to these reports, the attack occurred after a meeting between the two groups in Ainomina township, resulting in 12 fatalities. The casualties and wounded were transferred to the Taliban's Army Corps facility. Local residents also reported hearing gunshots following the explosion. Sources have confirmed that several leadership members of both groups reside in parts of the Ainomina township. However, the Taliban Security Command in Kandahar has presented a different narrative, claiming the incident was caused by unexploded and worn-out ammunition stored in a container near the Anti-Narcotics Department. Asadullah Jamshid, spokesman for the Taliban Security Command, stated that several guards were wounded in the incident but did not provide specific numbers. Timothy Bruce, U.S. State Department spokesperson, has declared that the Taliban continues to be recognized as a terrorist group, responding to questions about removing the $10 million bounty on Taliban Interior Minister Sirajuddin Haqqani following American citizen George Glassman's release. Bruce said he couldn't comment on any exchanges in this regard. Bruce added, "Those frameworks are always under review," but emphasized that the Taliban's status as a terrorist group remains unchanged. These statements come despite the U.S. removing the bounty on Haqqani after Glassman's release. Regarding requests from the detained British couple's family for U.S. assistance, the State Department spokesperson noted they are British citizens, and any action should come from the British government. The British couple has been in Taliban custody for more than 2 months. The Taliban group has launched a new program to recruit orphan children aged 6 to 18 into jihadi madrasas. The General Administration of Jihadi Madrasas and Orphanages under the Taliban's Ministry of Education has distributed notices in cities asking families to send their orphan children to Dar al-Aitam al-Jihad centers. According to the announcement, all expenses will be covered by the Taliban group, and children will be taught the Quran and Islamic sciences. Sources in Saripol province report that children from families of former military personnel or those whose fathers have migrated abroad due to poverty are being recruited to these schools. Informed sources say the Taliban is also trying to recruit orphan children from Shia families to these centers. A helicopter crashed into the Hudson River between Manhattan and New Jersey on Thursday, killing all 6 people on board. According to the New York mayor, the victims included 3 children and 3 adults, including the pilot. Reuters reported that the helicopter was carrying tourists. ABC News, citing the Spanish Foreign Ministry, reported that the Spanish consulate in New York is working with local authorities to identify the victims. Bruce Wall, a witness, told the Associated Press that the helicopter disintegrated in the air, with its tail and rotors separating before the crash. Representatives of the United States and the Islamic Republic will hold talks about Tehran's nuclear program on Saturday. Meanwhile, Britain, France, and Germany are considering the possibility of reinstating UN sanctions against Iran, a measure that must be implemented before the expiration of the JCPOA nuclear deal in October of this year. The JCPOA agreement, signed in August 2015 between Iran and world powers, lifted international sanctions in exchange for nuclear limitations. Donald Trump withdrew from this agreement in 2018. And with the start of his second presidential term in February 2025, he has resumed his maximum pressure policy against Iran. The International Atomic Energy Agency has announced that Iran has significantly increased uranium enrichment to 60%. That concludes the hourly news on Zarin TV. Thank you for watching. Until next time, don't forget to follow us on social media. Goodbye.